Good morning, students. Once again, we are meeting here in today's English lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the topic pronouns. Before this, in the previous lectures, we have already started with the topic parts of the speech. There are in all 8 parts of speech. They are noun, adjectives, verb, adverb, pronoun, conjunction, interjection, and exclamation. So, we have already discussed noun and adjectives so far. Today we will discuss with one more part of speech, that is pronouns. Let's start. Let's read these sentences. Nishant loves to work. Nishant is efficient because Nishant is hardworking. Nishant's work is excellent. Nishant loves to work. He is efficient because he is hardworking. His work is excellent. Now, students, if you pay proper attention, in the first sentence, you will see the word Nishant, Nishant, again and again it is repeated. And in the second sentence, you will find in the beginning we have used the noun Nishan, and after that, instead of using Nishan, we have used the word he again and again in the sentence. And here we have also used his. So in short, pronoun is a word which is used instead of noun in a sentence when we don't want to repeat the same noun again and again. Let's see. The first set of sentences sounds repetitive. When we speak, we do not want to keep repeating noun, that is name of a person or thing every time we have to refer it. And so we use a pronoun instead of a noun. So that's what I have explained you. Pronoun is a noun which is used instead of a noun. When we don't want to repeat the noun again and again. Here Nishant, we don't want to repeat again and again. So we have used he instead of Nishant. So he becomes a pronoun. Now, if we are talking about some girl, suppose I am talking this as if Sheetal loves to work. Now, instead of writing Sheetal again, I will use which pronoun? She, correct. She is efficient because she is hardworking. So, in this way, the word which is used instead of a noun, that is called as a pronoun. Pronouns are nouns in disguise and have the same function as noun. They take the place of nouns. Take the place of nouns means they are used instead of nouns. So I hope the concept and meaning of pronoun is clear to you. Now there are very many pronouns such as he, which is used in case of male. She is used in case of female. It is used in case of non-living things, and many more such as we, I, us, etc. Let's discuss something more about pronouns. Now, kinds of pronouns means different types of pronouns. Now, see here, pronouns. Number one, personal pronoun. Number two, reflexive and emphatic pronouns. Possessive pronouns, relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, indefinite and distributive pronouns, and demonstrative pronouns. Now, in 7th standard, we are not going to discuss about relative pronouns, okay? This topic we are not going to discuss, but other topics we will try to learn in today's lecture. Now these pronouns, what do they do? Personal pronoun is used to refer to people such as I, me, they. Reflexive and emphatic pronouns are used to reflect to the personal pronoun or noun. Examples are myself, themselves. Possessive pronouns are used to show the position. Examples, mine, yours. This we are not going to discuss. Let's proceed to another. Interrogative pronouns are the pronouns which are question words. They are used to ask questions such as what, who. Indefinite and distributive pronouns are used to refer to things in general, such as many, few, each, either. Demonstrative pronouns are used to point out, such as this, that, these, those. So this chart in short will give us the idea, but now we will try to understand each type of pronoun in detail. What exactly each type of pronoun is doing and what are the examples of them. Let's start one by one. Now let's start with the first one, personal pronoun. We use personal pronouns in place of person or people that we are talking about. Personal pronouns are used for such type of person, place, animal, thing about whom we are speaking. We use the first person pronoun I and we to speak about ourselves. Now when we are speaking about our own self, we use I or we as a pronoun. So they are personal pronouns. I like ice cream. We eat ice creams frequently. So here I and we are used to talk about first person, means about our own self. So they are personal pronoun. Second person pronoun is you. When it is used to address the person with whom you are speaking. Now suppose I am speaking with another girl. So when I want to speak about that another girl, I will use the pronoun you. So you is used in case of second person. You must tell me what you think, means the person with whom I am talking, to that person I am telling, you must tell me what you think. So you is a personal pronoun which is used in case of a second person with whom you are speaking. The third person, that is he, she, it. Third person means not I, means not me, not you, but the other one, that is he, she, or it. Are used when you are talking of somebody else. When we are not talking about our own self, when we are not talking about the second person with whom we are talking, but if we are talking about somebody else, that is a third person, for that we use he, she, it, and they. He looks happy. Take this knife and put it in the kitchen. The various personal pronouns and their uses are given below. Let's discuss. Now fill in the blanks with personal pronouns. Now just now what we have discussed. Based on that, here is a small exercise. As I have told you students, please start taking screenshots of each and every slide where the answers and exercises are given so that you can fill up these answers in your workbook and complete your grammar workbook in neat and clean handwriting. Now just now we have discussed about personal pronouns. Okay, see the first one. Number one, Taran is a good boy. Do you like? Answer is him. The answers are given below. Number two, dash and dash always study together. So which are the personal pronouns? He and me always study together. Number three, Vishal and Mohammed are brilliant students. Dash have won many medals. Answer is they have won many medals. Number four, Tanya loves music. Prima loves to dance. Dash are famous. Number four, they are famous. When dash is cloudy, dash rains. Number five, when it is cloudy, it rains. Number six, dash should speak the truth. Answer, we should speak the truth. Number seven, our pledge says that all Indians are brothers and sisters. This is to promote tolerance amongst the people. Number eight, please give dash your opinion on these topics. Answer is me. I like this pen. Dash is better than yours. It is better than yours. Number 10. This book belongs to Dash, me. I bought it at the book fair. So him, he, me, they, it, all these are the examples of personal pronouns because they are used in case of first person, second person and third person. Please take a screenshot and fill up these answers in the blanks which are given. We proceed to the next part. Next is reflexive or emphatic pronouns. Means reflexive pronouns are also called as emphatic pronouns. Let's read these sentences. I cut my hair myself. We must learn to laugh at ourselves. Now see here. In the first sentence, I performs the action of cutting the hair. And at the same time, I receives the action of hair being cut. Now what does it mean? I cut my hair myself means I am cutting my hair myself, means I am doing the action on my own. That's why we have used the word self. Okay. Next, we must learn to laugh at ourselves. See the second one. In the second sentence, the doer of the action is we. And at the same time, we receive the action of being laughed. We must learn to laugh at ourselves means we is receiving the action of laughing on their own self back. That's why we have used selves, S-E-L-V-E-S. Here myself and ourselves are reflexive pronouns. Why? Because the action is reflected back to the subject. Means the person, the subject who is doing action, the action comes back to that same subject. Same way here. Here the we is doing action of laughing, and laughing action reflects back on the subject we. So that's why they are called as reflexive. Now in reflexive or emphatic pronoun, we are using self, self, in case of singular pronoun, and selves in case of plural pronoun, means more than one. Let's proceed. Reflexive pronouns acts as objects and not subjects and usually show that the person who does the action of the verb is also the person who receives the action. Same way what I've told, the person who is doing action, he will receive back the same action on himself, and that's why we are using the words self. Remember, in all type of reflexive pronouns, you have to use either self, S-E-L-F in case of singular pronoun, and selves in case of plural. When reflexive pronouns are used for emphasis, emphasis means to stress on, they are called emphatic pronouns, means they are one and the same. I myself cut my hair. Now here we are using the word, that is pronoun myself, to stress that I myself, I have cut the hair. So I'm stressing, I'm emphasizing on the word. That's why it is a emphatic pronoun. They themselves suggested this restaurant. So again here we have using themselves for emphasis. So it is a emphatic pronouns. Now let's look at here. Personal pronouns are given here. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. If the same are used as reflexive, I will become myself. I is singular, so we will use self. You, yourself, yourselves, if it is plural. He himself, she herself, it itself, we is plural, more than one, plural. So ourselves, selves, and they will become themselves, selves. I hope the concept is clear. Fill in the blanks with reflexive or emphatic pronouns. Now remember, reflexive or emphatic pronouns will always have self, self, in case of singular pronoun, and selves, selves, in case of plural pronouns. Okay. And remember, reflexive or emphatic means the action will return back to the subject. Number one, she looked at dash in the mirror. Answer is herself. Blood pressure patients should get dash checked regularly. Number two, themselves. Now see, your patients, S is there. Means it is plural, more than one. So we are using themselves, selves. In first case, she looked at the dash in the mirror. She means only one person, one girl. So we are using self, self. So in case of singular, self you have to use. In case of plural, you have to use shelves. She dash stitches her cloth. Now she is singular. So the answer is herself. Arun always keeps copies of exercise for himself. Number 5. I gave myself a chance to win the race. Number 6. We must give ourselves credit for doing a job well. We is plural, so we will use selves. I myself advised him on his career. She herself is to blame. He can only blame himself for the mistake. We ourselves went and saw the site of the accident. I hope this concept is clear. Let's proceed. And I request you all to take a screenshot of this slide so that you can write these answers in the blank with pen. Possessive pronouns. Now, as a name suggests, possessive. When we want to show the possession, we use possessive pronouns. Now, what do you mean by possession? Possessions means when we want to show that the particular thing is belonging to some person. That is called possession. If I say, this is my pen, so the pronoun my will tell us that the pen belongs to me, means the possession of pen belongs to me. So possession means to show the thing or a particular object is belonging to whom. That's why they are called possessive. These are my spectacles. These spectacles are mine. So here the word my and the pronoun mine tells that the spectacle belongs to me. Those are your sleepers and those sleepers are yours. So again, you can see here, we see that possessive pronouns are having two forms. One form is my, mine, your, yours. The forms such as my, your, are called as possessive adjectives. Okay, here my, your, they are called as possessive adjectives because they are used to show the possession. These are my spectacles. Here the word my, that is pronoun my, tells us the possession of spectacle, means spectacles belongs to whom, that is called as possession. Let's move on. Possessive adjectives are used always before nouns and do the work of an adjective. Now, why they are called as possessive adjectives? Because they are used before the noun. Means before the noun, when we use a possessive pronoun, they are called as possessive adjectives and they are doing the work of an adjective. Now, let's have a look over here. Here the personal pronouns are given, which we have already discussed. Next is possessive adjective. My, your, his, her, its, are, their. So these possessive adjectives we will use before the noun, such as my pen. So pen is a noun. So before pen, we are using my. This is your pencil. Pencil is a noun. Before pencil, we are using your. So when we use the adjectives before nouns, they are called as possessive adjectives. Example, my, your, his, her, its, are, their. Now possessive pronoun, mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, theirs. You can see we are adding s everywhere at the end, okay? Remember, never use the apostrophe in possessive pronouns. Now see here, possessive pronoun yours, Y-O-U-R-S. Don't put apostrophe, it is wrong. Hers, H-E-R-S. Don't put apostrophe. Apostrophe is not allowed. See here, hers, this is correct. But H-E-R apostrophe S is wrong. T-H-E-I-R-S, theirs is correct. But T-H-E-I-R apostrophe, if you put here, it is wrong. So this point you should remember. Don't use apostrophe in possessive pronouns. Let's proceed further. Fill in the blanks with possessive pronouns. Now answers are given below, students. We have to fill them in the blank. Number one, that house is dash. Answer is mine. So mine word tells this house is belonging to me, possession. Take this book. It is yours. Y-O-U-R-S. Don't put apostrophe. Number three, I am sorry. That's your pen, not mine. Number four, those students are mine. Number five, look over there. Those seats are. Number six, our shirts will be yellow. Ours will be green. Give them the boxes. They are yours. Those books are theirs. Okay. So in this way, you can also fill up the blanks on your own. Please take a screenshot. Interrogative pronouns. The pronouns used to ask questions are called interrogative pronouns. Means easy to remember. Interrogative means to ask questions. So the pronouns which are used to ask questions, they are called as interrogative. Who is the culprit? Question mark. So here we are asking a question by using who. Which is your car? Again we are asking a question. At the end there is a question mark with the help of which. Whom should I ask? What does he do? Whose is this bag? Interrogative pronouns can also be used to ask questions indirectly. In short, interrogative pronouns are used to ask questions by using words who, whom, whose, which, what. We also say these words are WH words. Ask him what he has done. I do not know who has done this. Here, the interrogative pronouns are used indirectly, and that's why the question mark is not there at the end, but still a question is asked. Interrogative pronouns also have compound words. Compound means when two words are joined together to make a new word. Who is one word, ever is another word. Both the words are joined to make compound word. Which is one word, ever is another word, whichever. Both two words are joined to make one new word. Such words are called compound forms. Whoever asks you that. We will give the prize to whoever makes the best project. Whatever he did, does he deserve this? So this is all about interrogative pronouns which are used to ask questions. Write questions to these answers using interrogative pronouns. Now here the answers are given, students, and we are supposed to frame up a question, okay, with the help of WH words such as what, who, what. Again here you have which, what, whose. Okay, let's see. Number one, I ate the pizza. So how you will frame a question so that you will get this sentence as your answer. So the question will be, what did you eat? And put a question mark. So here what is an interrogative pronoun which is used to ask a question. Now in your workbook here itself you have to write the answers, okay? Here you can see some blank spaces. So in these blank spaces you are supposed to write the answers with pen. The auditorium was inaugurated by a minister. Number two, who inaugurated the auditorium? So your answer is the auditorium was inaugurated by a minister. Please put a question mark at the end. Number three, all the girls saw the movie. Let's frame a question. Who did see the movie? All the girls saw the movie. Put a question mark. He is an engineer and works in a factory. What is he? Where does he work? So answer is he is an engineer, works in a factory. Please put a question. What is his job? Answer, his job is to sell medical equipments. In the same way, we will frame up the questions for these. Which book you are reading? I am reading a book on the life of William Shakespeare. Number 8, who is knocking at the door? John is knocking at the door. Next one, what do you like the most? I like cartoon programs the most. Next, whose book is this? This book is Ramya's. So in this way, we have used these interrogative pronouns such as what, who, what, which, what, whose for framing up a question, and you have to use a question mark. Please take a screenshot. Indefinite pronouns. Let's read these sentences. One should do one's best. None of these shirts is nice. Many among the group do not speak Hindi. Somebody has taken my pen. Now here you have seen some words such as one, none, many, somebody. The words in italics means cross or slanting are pronouns that stand in place of an undefined person or thing. They refer to person or things in general, and that's why they are called indefinite pronouns. In this sentence, the pronoun one. In this sentence, the pronoun none. In this sentence, the pronoun many. And in this sentence, the pronoun somebody is used in general for some person or thing and not for a specific person. That's why it is called indefinite pronoun. Some examples of indefinite pronouns are anybody, something, no one, somebody, anyone, few, many, nobody, etc. These pronouns are used in general for place, person or thing, not for a specific person, place or thing. That's why they are called indefinite pronouns. Distributive pronouns. Look at these sentences. 13 children came for the party. I gave each a chocolate. Either of these shirts can be bought for Nitin. Neither is a very good picture. The words each, either, and neither refer to one thing at a time and are called distributive pronouns. Distributive pronouns are always singular. Now here you can see we are using the word each, either, neither. So these pronouns are used to refer or to state only about one thing at a time. That's why they are called distributive. And distributive pronouns are always singular, referring to one thing, one animal, one person, not more than one. It is not used in case of plural. Each of these girls has a book. So here we are using each, means one, singular. Let's proceed further. Fill in the blanks with indefinite or distributive pronouns from the box. Now you can see here in box they have given the pronouns such as either, each, few, no one, everybody, somebody, nobody, anybody. So we have to fill these pronouns in these blanks line depending upon the sentence. So first we have to read the sentence and then we should think which word will fit and then write the answer. I have given answers in the end. Please take a screenshot of this and let's discuss. Among the contestants, Dash was a clear winner. Answer, no one. So dash got a book. Answer, nobody. Number 2, there is dash knocking at the door. Answer, somebody. Number 3, Sunil or Tushar dash is a good choice. Either. Number 4, each of the rivals did his best to outdo the other. Number 5, Tom was reading out his speech, but nobody could hear them. He fell into the ditch, but no one was there to save him. Number 7, you can do either of the two questions. Number 8, either of these roads will take you there. Number 9, did you ask anybody to come? Number 10, everybody has his own opinion about this. So depending upon the sentence, we have to decide which pronoun will fit in the blank. So you have to write these answers in this blank, in these blanks with a pen. Please take a screenshot. We move on to the next topic. Demonstrative pronouns. As the name suggests, it helps us to demonstrate something. Let's have a look at these examples. This is the book I was talking about. That is the Red Fort. The words this and that are used to point out the things that they refer to. That's why these words are called demonstrative pronouns. As the name suggests, demonstrative. In this sentence, the pronoun this, and in this sentence, the pronoun that. Both these pronouns are used to demonstrate. Demonstrate means to point out at a particular thing. In first sentence, pronoun this is used to point out at the book. In second sentence, the pronoun that is used to point out at the red fort. So when the pronoun is used for pointing out at a particular thing, place, person, it is called as demonstrative. This and that are singular demonstrative pronouns, and these and those are plural demonstrative pronouns. This and that we will use in case of singular nouns. See, the book is singular means one. Red fort is singular means one. And if we have to use the demonstrative pronoun in case of plural, plural means more than one. That time we will use these or those. One more point we should remember. This refers to the thing which is nearer to the speaker. We can use the pronoun this for the things which are kept near the speaker. Now, suppose some pens are there near my table. So I will say, these are the pens, or this is a pen, or this is a duster, or this is a book. If that book, duster is kept near me, that conveys a sense of greater distance than this. And the word that is used for the things which are kept away. Now suppose a pen is kept far away from my table. So what I will say, that is a pen, because the pen is away. So when a thing is away from us, we are supposed to use that. And when a particular thing is near to us, we are supposed to use this. So these are demonstrative pronouns. Use the correct demonstrative pronouns and rewrite these sentences. Now here, the sentences are given. These are the books my friend gave me. Now, if you read it, you will understand there is some grammatical mistake. Some pronouns are wrongly used. So you have to identify what mistake is there and then should correct it and write that sentences here itself. Can you see this blank space given below? So here itself, you are supposed to write all the answers with pen. These are the boys who were punished. Now, if you see this are the boys, can you find out the mistake? Those is Jamal's friend. Can you find out some mistake over here? If you read carefully, you will understand. All this are the people who have to go to jail. See some grammatical mistake. That are your pens. Number 6, remove the plates on the table. These are dusty. Now, plates are more. So, shall we use this or something else? Think. These are presents from my family and friend. Just think over it. Is this correct or you have to change it? That who want to participate in the swimming competition must register their names today. So here in all these sentences, there are some grammatical mistakes, some pronouns are wrongly used. So think over them and do the correction and again write the sentences in this blank lines. Here the blank spaces are there. In this blank space, you are supposed to write the answers with pen. So just start thinking, students. I hope you will get the answers. Let's see. Number 1, these are the books my friend gave me. Number 2, these are the boys who were punished. Number 3, those are Jamal's friends. Number 4, All these are the people who have to go to jail. Number 5, those are your pens. Number 6, remove the plates on the table. Those are dusty. Number 7, these are presents from my family and friends. Number 8, those who want to participate in the swimming competition must register their names today. Number 9, look at the pots here. These are imported from China. Number 10, my ideas are the same as those of the group. So these are your answers. And if you see properly, you will notice we have made some changes in the pronouns as well as some grammatical changes. So these answers you are supposed to write in your grammar workbook in neat and clean handwriting. Please take a screenshot so that we'll proceed further. So with this students, today we have completed the topic pronouns. Now in the previous lectures, we have also discussed question answers of few lessons. So it's a humble request to all my dear students, please complete all your notes in your English workbook in neat and clean handwriting. Similarly, whichever topics we are discussing in grammar workbook, whichever exercises and answers we are discussing, start writing those answers in your English grammar workbook in neat and clean handwriting. After completing few topics, I will tell you which exercises you are supposed to write in your grammar notebook in neat and clean handwriting. I will guide you that in the coming lectures. So have patience and start completing your English workbook as well as your grammar workbook in neat and clean handwriting. So with this, Karuna teacher is concluding today's lecture. See you again next time. Till that time, stay at home, stay safe, and do take care of yourselves. Bye, students.